Join us as we explore the charm of Lisbon city, where history, culture, and vibrant streets come together in one unforgettable journey. In this Lisbon travel guide vlog, I'll show you the top 10 best things to do in Lisbon, Portugal, from must-see Lisbon attractions and hidden gems to my personal travel tips on what to do in Lisbon in 2 to 3 days. By the end of this video, you will have all the most important information for planning your trip, and I'll be waiting for your likes and specific questions as a comment. Walking through Belem felt like stepping back into Portugal's golden age of exploration, with the Belem Tower standing proudly at the edge of the Tagus River. Inside Jeronimos Monastery, I was amazed by the detailed menuline architecture, and I could almost imagine sailors praying here before their long voyages. The monument to Gagu Coutinho and Chiado Cathedral reminded me of Portugal's daring spirit of aviation, and it gave me a sense of pride in their adventurous history. Visiting the National Coach Museum was also an unexpected highlight, with its ornate royal carriages that looked like works of art more than vehicles. Spending a few hours here left me with a deep appreciation of Lisbon's role in shaping world history. Alfama is where Lisbon truly comes alive, with its maze of narrow streets, tiled houses, and the sound of fado music drifting from hidden taverns. Climbing up to São Jorge Castle gave me some of the best panoramic views of the city, especially at sunset when the rooftops glow in warm colors. I stepped inside Lisbon Cathedral, the oldest in the city, and felt a mix of peace and history as I admired its Romanesque design. At the Santa Luzia Church, I paused to enjoy the stunning viewpoint decorated with traditional blue azulejos tiles. Visiting the National Pantheon and the Museu de Artes Decorativas rounded off my walk, giving me both cultural depth and unforgettable memories of Lisbon's oldest neighborhood. Praça do Comércio impressed me with its grand size and bright yellow arcades opening to the Tagus River, making it a perfect place to start exploring central Lisbon. From there, I wandered up to Rocio Square, where the wave-patterned pavement and lively cafes gave me a true sense of the city's rhythm. Inside the Church of St. Dominico, I was struck by its haunting beauty, with charred walls that tell the story of Lisbon's Great Fire. Right next door, the Teatro Nacional Dona Maria II added an elegant cultural presence to the square. Even the Rocio station caught my eye with its neo-menuline facade, proving that Lisbon's public spaces are just as much about history as they are about daily life. Walking through Rua Garete in Chiado was one of the most vibrant experiences of my Lisbon trip, with its mix of traditional shops, cafes, and modern boutiques. I couldn't resist stopping at the iconic Café A Brasileira, where locals and tourists alike sip coffee under the watchful bronze statue of poet Fernando Pessoa. The elegant architecture of Chiado makes every corner feel timeless, especially the beautifully restored buildings after the 1988 fire. I loved browsing through the bookstores and artisan shops, picking up unique souvenirs that felt much more authentic than tourist trinkets. Spending time here felt like being in Lisbon's cultural heart, where history and modern lifestyle blend effortlessly. Walking down Rua Augusta during the day felt like being in the middle of a grand open-air stage, with its impressive triumphal arch, busy cafes, and constant energy from both locals and travelers. I stopped many times just to enjoy the atmosphere, whether it was a street performer making the crowd smile or the elegant shop windows that tempted me inside. Pink Street, although quiet during the daytime, transforms completely at night, glowing under neon lights and buzzing with bars, music, and nightlife energy. Even if you only pass by during daylight hours, it's worth seeing the colorful street itself, which has become one of Lisbon's most photographed spots. Experiencing these two streets gave me a perfect balance, with Rua Augusta showcasing the grandeur of Lisbon's daily life and Pink Street revealing its playful and lively nightlife side. One of the absolute highlights of Lisbon for me was tasting the city's incredible food, starting with the famous Pastel de Nata, a creamy custard tart that was even better when eaten fresh and warm from the oven. I loved wandering into small taverns where I tried traditional dishes like Bacalhau à Brás, made with salted cod, eggs, and potatoes, which tasted like real Portuguese comfort food. Sitting in a lively restaurant in Alfama, I ordered grilled sardines that were cooked simply over charcoal, yet bursting with flavor that reminded me of Lisbon's close connection to the sea. Another unforgettable meal was trying cataplana, a seafood stew served in a copper pan, where every spoonful was rich, aromatic, and deeply satisfying. Exploring Lisbon through its food felt like a journey in itself, giving me a taste of the culture and the warm hospitality of the locals. At LX Factory, I found a creative world hidden inside old industrial buildings, filled with street art, trendy cafes, boutique shops, and a buzzing atmosphere that made it one of the coolest areas in the city. I spent hours browsing the quirky bookstores and art spaces, each corner covered in colorful murals that turned the entire place into an open-air gallery. The National Tile Museum gave me a completely different artistic perspective, where centuries of Portugal's history were told through intricate azulejos that ranged from tiny decorative pieces to massive wall panels. Visiting the Museu de Artes Decorativos inside a historic palace added yet another layer, where I could admire fine furniture, tapestries, and elegant objects that once decorated Lisbon's noble homes. Experiencing these places showed me that Lisbon isn't just about history, it's also a city thriving with creativity and artistic soul. Spending time at Parque das Nacoes was a refreshing contrast to the historic parts of Lisbon, with its wide modern spaces, futuristic buildings, and peaceful views along the Tejo River. One of the highlights here was visiting the Oceanario de Lisboa, one of the largest aquariums in Europe, where I could walk through glass tunnels surrounded by sharks, rays, and vibrant schools of fish. Strolling along the riverfront, I felt a calm atmosphere, watching families biking, couples enjoying the sunset, and children playing in the open spaces. The Vasco da Gama Bridge stretching across the horizon was breathtaking, not only for its length but also for the way it framed the waterfront with a modern architectural touch. Spending an afternoon here gave me a chance to slow down, relax, and enjoy Lisbon's more contemporary and scenic side. Taking the Santa Justa lift was one of the most unique ways to reach a viewpoint, riding in its neo-Gothic elevator cabin and stepping out to sweeping views over the Baixa district and beyond. Eduardo 7 Park offered a completely different perspective, with its long green lawn stretching toward the river and a quiet space where I could escape the city's busier streets. At the Mirador de Santa Catarina, I loved the lively vibe, with locals playing guitar, friends hanging out, and everyone gathering to watch the sunset over the 25th of April bridge. By contrast, the Mirador de Santa Luzia had a romantic and peaceful charm, framed by bougainvillea and decorated with blue tiles that made the view of Alfama unforgettable. Each of these spots reminded me that Lisbon is best appreciated from above, where its hills, rooftops, and river come together in one incredible scene. Taking a river cruise along the Tejo was one of the most memorable experiences of my time in Lisbon, giving me a whole new perspective of the city's skyline. Passing under the 25 de Abril bridge felt incredible, with its towering red structure resembling San Francisco's Golden Gate and creating a dramatic frame against the blue sky. As we sailed along, I saw the monument to the Discoveries rising proudly on the riverbank, a tribute to Portugal's great explorers who once changed the course of world history. Another highlight was drifting past the MAT, Museum of Art, Architecture and Technology, whose wave-shaped modern design stood out beautifully along the water's edge. Watching the city slowly fade into golden light from the deck of the boat was the perfect way to end my Lisbon adventure, leaving me with a sense of peace and wonder. This brings us to the end of my Lisbon travel vlog, where I shared everything you need to know about Lisbon attractions, the best things to do in Lisbon, Portugal, and practical travel tips that will help you make the most of your visit. Whether you're here for a short break and wondering what to do in Lisbon in 2 to 3 days, or planning to dive deeper into the city's culture, this guide should give you a complete experience of Lisbon City. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and of course subscribe to my channel, and if you need more information, feel free to ask me as a comment.